Okay. Uh, First of all, it is our first time success that we are able to start out our hangout session, previously declared hangout session at a time. Now, as per our previous hangout session, I have discussed that we have to first make table, and in tabular format we have to give data. Now same way, here also my recommendation is that visit our website, that is www.m2k-education.com. There is dash and no underscore, so it is only dash. So I am saying again, it's www.m2k-education.com. Here we have to visit this website and try to get lectures that will give you detailed lectures. No doubt it is paid site, but still uh, it is much more cheaper than other coaching classes. Or otherwise, kindly search out our video YouTube channels. Various channels are there on our YouTube that we are uploading through various channels. So kindly go through that. For that purpose, we have to just search out that UPSC Mahesh Kulkarni. So you will get our channel, and then we can observe video lectures. But all video lectures are not given over there. So maybe possible you will feel some interruption in our interaction. Let us start out. In first phase of history, we discuss that all lectures are there. In that, we discuss about various cultures and civilizations in the world, particularly the world which is in Indian side. That means we discuss about Sumerian culture, that is Babylonian culture, Egyptian culture, Greek culture, and Roman culture. To some extent, Chinese culture. And then we did not discuss anything about that we are calling as Mayan culture or Inca culture like that. Now, then onwards, we discuss about, we have to discuss actually about world empires. Now, in this record, in recorded history, we get towards side of India, that is Persian Empire. Persian Empire is first, we can say, the empire in recorded history that spread out throughout the world or throughout the known continent for us in those days. For example, it was there in Asia, it was there in Africa also. Certain parts of south parts of Egypt were annexed by this empire. Then in Europe, they also extended their roots. And obviously, base was Asia. Persepolis was their capital. The dynasty is called as Hakhamani dynasty. Say Hakhamani, that stands for friend of mine. And you are aware that when we are talking of Persian culture, the sa and ha, they are confused out. Many times from other languages, they can convert sa to ha. Like that, we can say here, Hakhamani, that is friend of mine. If you are aware of Sanskrit, I can convert this her to sa. I'm getting Sakha Mani, the friend of mine. Anyway, so this dynasty was set out in particularly part of that world. Darius, Cyrus, etc. are name of these emperors. These emperors spread out their empire from river Indus in India till Greece. All we are calling that battles, they are famous as marathon or whatever that. They are with Greeks and Persians. So Persian Empire is really a great empire, or was really a great empire in those days. They were of liberal attitude. It is given that they were allowing other people to follow their religion, those who are resident of their empire, but they were collecting out tribute that was not too high anyway. But in India, the situation was different. We discuss about various Mahajanapad. That was glorious phase in Indian history. somewhere around 600 BC. 600 BC onwards, certain changes occurred in Indian culture. Gnostic ideology. Say, Gnostic means not believing in God. No, it's wrong. Gnostic means this ideology is not believing in heavenliness of Vedas. We are calling that Veda or Indian literature. In ancient Indian literature, we are calling that Vedas are apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means not created by man, or man means here we have to consider woman also. So here the Vedas are considered as not prepared by man. Therefore, they are considered as heavenly books. So those who are not accepting this thing, they are called as Nastik. This Gnostic ideology was flourished, particularly because of various factors arising in those period. And then onwards, a decline to some extent in Indian culture takes place. The first thing, Persian invader, they invaded parts of India, particularly Western India. Secondly, the Mahajanapada, they were almost all lost out in hands of Magad. Magad become more and more prominent Mahajanapada. Remaining Mahajanapada were now become almost not that important, and particularly till river Bias, the territory was annexed by this Magad Empire. But beyond Bias, that means towards west side of Bias, Mahajanapada were not there. They were split out into Janapada again. So India was in divided format towards west of river Bias, where towards east of river Bias it was united. But ruler, whatever the rulers, particularly Nanda rulers, they were not taking care of their citizen to that extent. They were collecting out huge revenue from people only. No doubt, they were having their own mines. Say, the Magad Empire was set out at Chota Nagpur Plateau, where they were having very good source of, we can say, different minerals, particularly iron. And that's why they were having tremendous wealth, but still they were engaged in accumulating more and more wealth from people. That was the reason that Magad Empire became unpopular, particularly in those days. Then onwards, India faced another foreign invaders. They were Greeks. Henceforth, in Indian history, there is continuous phase of Greek attacks. Greeks are often called as Yavana or Yavan in India. Particularly, Yavan word is there in epics. Prior to Greeks also, this word is mentioned in epics. But this word, I don't know who, when and how used for Greeks. But henceforth, particularly the white people or from people of Europe, they started claiming them as Yavan. Whereas another word is there that is called as Mlench. Mlench word is used particularly for Central Asian nomadic tribes. So you are aware from what is Central Asia, that is towards north of Afghanistan. That region is there. From that, if nomadic invaders arrived, we are calling them as Mlench. Please keep in mind both of the words, Yavana as well as Mlench, they are not intended for Muslims. They are intended for races, particularly European people were called as Yavana, and Central Asian people, Central Asian invaders, they were called as Mlench. Now, India is having foreign invaders. We discussed that Alexander's invention. Alexander the Great is first invader, European invader over India in known history. Then onwards, it was Seleucus Nicator, then Demetrius, and then Menander. So like that, totally 4 Greek invaders invaded India. Out of that, Alexander was not able to cross out river Bias. So his rule was there till river Bias. He was not able to cross out river Bias. Seleucus Nicator was not able to cross out even that Hindu Kush mountain, river Indus, no. He was defeated from border by Chandragupta Maurya. The third invader, that was Demetrius, he was able to conquer territory till Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh. So he was able to cross out Indus, that is Sindhu. He was able to cross out Bias, and ultimately he reached till Ayodhya, where he was defeated by another great Indian emperor named as Kharavel from Odisha. That was called as in those days Kalinga. He was Jain emperor, and he managed to defeat Demetrius. But he sent out him towards other side of river Indus. So we shrinked out our border from from Pariyatra mountain, that is Hindu Kush mountain, to river Indus. Then it was another part that Menander, another Greek invader, entered in India. He also reached till Ayodhya. He accepted Buddhism. He discussed or carried out debate with Nagasen, a Buddhist monk, where he was lost out that debate. He was defeated by Buddhist monk Nagasen, and then he accepted Buddhism. But he was defeated by Pushyamitra Shunga. Now Nanda dynasty was there on Magad. So Nanda dynasty was defeated by Maurya, Chandragupta Maurya. Then onwards, Maurya dynasty was ruling on Magad. But after Emperor Ashoka the Great, Buddhism was spread out and people become more and more non-violent. And then onwards, the rulers were not having that importance. The Bruhadrath Maurya was last ruler of Maurya dynasty, was executed, and power was taken in hands of Pushyamitra Shunga, most probably the Brahman general of Maurya ruler Bruhadrath Maurya. Now Pushyamitra Shunga managed defeat this Menander, but he was sent till river Indus only. So here Indian border is shrinked out from Hindu Kush mountain to that Hindu Kush means Pariyatra mountain to river Indus. Menander is last Greek invader over India. But keep in mind, they were continue ruling towards west of bank of river Indus. Then onwards, no Greek invaders entered in India, but Greek refugees entered in India. So there is difference between invader and refugee. Iran or Persia was invaded by Scythian people, usually people from Ukraine and all these Caucasus or steppes part. They were called as Scythians. So these Scythians invaded Persia, and therefore these people vacated out from Persia, the Greeks, and entered in India as a refugee, and ultimately they got salvation in India only. Maybe possible our ancestors may be Greek. Don't go by our present day color and all other part, but our gene or pool of gene, if I have to use the word, then that consisting of certain Greek roots also, because the Greeks entered in India and ultimately assimilated in Indian society. Here, I must give you another name of book which is available for free download on the website, that is savarkarsmarak.com. Spelling of Savarkar is SAVAR, smarak.com. So savarkarsmarak.com, you have to visit this site. Here we will get free download book, that is 6 Glorious Epoch in Indian History. This book is really essential. This book is available in various languages, and after few days we are making translations available for all of the languages, Indian languages, some 12 languages we are translated out this book. Very soon it will be available, but right now it is there in English, Hindi, Marathi. 3 languages we are available this book. So you can check out this site and you will get these entire details over here. Now we have to make columns, particularly in this history. Try to prepare your notes in this way, that era particularly, we are not able to get exact dates. Many times we are having errors in this date. And so approximate dates you can take out. Best book for this date, I should say, that is R.C. Muzumdar's book is there. That is Advanced History of India. You can rely to that extent. And other NCRT books are there for history. You can check out through that particular period here. So first column period, then name of foreign invader. Name means what exactly we have to categorize that Greek invaders. Now, if I am talking of Greek invader, then if possible, the next column is that name of particular person. So for example, if I am making column, the Greek invader, then next column will be Alexander, then it will be Seleucus Nicator, then it will be Demetrius, and then it is that last Menander. Now, their empire was spread in India from dash dash to dash dash. So that column should be there. And if any prominent importance is there, say for example, Seleucus Nicator, not able to enter in India, but able to enter their blood in India. How? Because his daughter married with Chandragupta Maurya. So that you can enter here. Same way, Demetrius. Demetrius set out his capital at Sialkot in Punjab. That is towards west of river Indus, and make Greek influence permanently till river Indus. So from Gandhar, that is Afghanistan, to river Indus, he made his influence. So that is his credit. Menander. Menander is creditable because he reached till Ayodhya and he accepted Buddhism. So in known history, the first foreigner who accepted Buddhism by entering in India, keep in mind, he was invader. Say, usually what happened, that invader force out people to accept their religion, their tradition, their culture. But here, the invaders were influenced by Indian culture and Buddhism was accepted by him. Next, this is the first phase, that Greek invaders. Henceforth, fifth time, we can say Greeks were there, but they were entered here as refugee. So this way you can make table, so that will be very easy for you. Now, what is the cultural influence of Greeks over India? So you have to prepare a note. What is the cultural impact of these Greeks over India? Say, Greeks were very good in geometry. So we learn geometry from these people. They were very good in minting out coins. We learn that from these people. It is written in books, so I am telling you. But if you observe particularly the coins minted by Greek, say Apollodotus is there, Antiodotus, then another Greek, that Demetrius, various coins you are getting out. These coins are really superior in those days. Now check out the coin by Satkarni, Gautami Putra Satkarni, that is Satvahan rule, particularly much more later than Greek invaders. But still, the coins were not sharp, not perfect, not superior of quality. So this minting of Greek coinage was there in northwest part of India only. That was not came till Maharashtra in those days. And that can be proved by simply what coins we are getting out. From that coin we can get out. Now, so we have to check out what is influence of Greek culture over India, particularly not because of Alexander the Great, but because of further invaders and further assimilation of Greeks in India. In astrophysics or astronomy field, we are aware that what sun signs are there, they are given by Greeks. They are mixed out in Indian society, Indian community. Today also we are talking of Rashi, that Rashi means sun sign, that is given by Greeks. Whereas Indian concept of constellation, in Sanskrit we are calling as nakshatra. So this was given to Greeks by Indian. Various mixing of cultures, say for example, style of wearing clothes, then style of making idols, style of architecture, that was mixed out. Certain concepts from Greeks, rather Persian people are saying that is basically from Persia. From Persia, Greeks copied out. And then Greeks entered in India, so it came in India. So whatsoever that thing, but we accepted these things from Greeks. Say for example, Lord Buddha's idol. If you observe particular Lord Buddha's idol, we are calling that as Gandhara school of art. It is constructed in the style, it is made in the style that is of Gandhara school of art, where that is influenced by Greek ideology. So that's why you can observe that what chivar, that wearing is there from one side, that is particularly Greek style. That is given to Lord Buddha in those days. Now, this way, Greek influence was there, or rather than I can say mixing of culture was there. So you have to mark out, you have to prepare a paragraph, what concepts we borrowed from Greeks and how they are assimilated in India. So that's why you have to make one paragraph here. So I'm again saying that era of foreign invaders, particularly it begins with Persian invader. Persian invader introduced. We can make another column also. What is the influence of Persian invader over India? Persian invaders were there. They were Cyrus Cyrus the Great from river Indus part. It was there at western part of India only. They introduced a script that is called as Kharoshtri script. Like Urdu, it is written from right to left. So that Kharoshtri script was introduced in today's Pakistan part, suppose. That was by Persian invaders. Then various concepts were introduced by this Persian invader over this territory. So that you have to check out. So every foreign invaders, now onwards in history, when we are discussing foreign invader, we have to make your column that what is influence, not make column, make paragraph only, because I can place out in the simple small column it. So make it paragraph Persian invaders importance. Now what is importance of Persian invader? Another importance that they taken out soldiers from India and they used to attack over Greece. So first in history, Indians visited Greece and then Greeks entered in India. It is not that Greeks entered in India and then Indians were there in Greece. No doubt, not of own choice, but because of Persian rulers, Indians were there in Greece. So this point you have to make. Certain words be specific. Now one question is asked in UPSC exam. What is the meaning of Yavana Priya? Answer is black people. Why? Because Romans, many times they are recognized as harsh-speaking Yavanas. So these harsh-speaking Yavanas, or what we call as Italian people, Roman people, they were there in India. They were borrowing out, they were taking out black people. In their country, it was status symbol to consume black people. And that's why we call that as Yavana Priya. So this question is asked in UPSC examinations, prelim examination. So like that, we have to prepare. Minute, suppose words are there, then also we have to make in your mind. Not write down each and everything, but important topic, we can take it down. Now this is, we can make column, the first Greek, first invader, Persian, in known history, then Greeks. Now it is era of Scythian invader. Who is first Scythian invader? That means column, era, from what period exactly they started out invading. Then name, that is Scythian. In bracket, we have to give Shak. Why? Because Scythians, the name is there in English language. But in India, Scythians are recognized as Shak. Again, there is doubt that whether Shak is particular category of people we are calling. Maybe possible Mongoloid people are called as Shak, we don't know. Or non-Indian resident, but entered in India and started residing out. They were called as Shak, I don't know. But often, Gautam Buddha, Lord Gautam Buddha is also referred as Shakya Muni. Their kingdom in Nepal, that is Kapilavastu, is referred as Shakya kingdom. In Sanskrit, in grammar, we are calling Tadhita. Tadhita means word made because of this. Say Shaka, the origin of Shak, we are calling as Shakya. Say for example, we are calling Kaurava and Pandav. The ancestors, if Kuru is ancestor, then their descendants are called as Kaurava. Pandu's son is called as Pandava. So like that Shaka, we are calling that as Shakya. So anyway, what is important thing here that in India, Scythians were recognized as Shak, or many times they are called as Sak also. Instead of Shak, we are calling Saka, Sak. So this third invader list we have to call as Shak. Then first Scythian invader name as Maus, M-A-U-S. So we have to keep in mind their name. Then another Shak invaders, prominent Shak ruler, that was Nahapanu. So we have to keep in mind their name, that is Nahapanu. Like that, we have to keep in mind. Then Shak were Indianized. They accepted Hinduism as their religion. They accepted Kshatriya as their clan. Now names are changed. Name is Rudradaman. Make in column name of invert Rudradaman. What territories are occupied by these people? We have to make column and write down note. Now, language. Scythians were considering Greek as superior language. And so all coin minted by Scythians, they are in Greek language. They are using Greek script as well as Greek language for minting out their coins. And that's why we can check out. They were ruling from Sindh in Pakistan today, Gujarat, Baluchistan, parts of northwest Maharashtra, parts of western parts of Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana. All these territories were occupied by Scythian invaders. Defeated by, we have to make another column. Say for example, Alexander the Great, defeated by, Alexander the Great was defeated by, properly answer is Yaudaya, from eastern bank of river Bias or Vyas. Then Seleucus Nicator was defeated by Chandragupta Maurya. Demetrius was defeated by Kalinga Emperor named as Khara. Virendra was defeated by Purmitra Shunga. These rulers named as Gautami Putra Satkarni was able to defeat this Shak. So make that column. And again, we have to make cultural impact note that what was cultural impact of Scythians over India. No doubt Scythians were nomadic tribal people. They were not having that good culture, what we are calling culture, that was not there for Scythians. But still, they were well organized. They entered in India in horse. They were having very good concepts of archery. They were very good in archery. And like that, we have to make your note that. Now, followed by Scythian invaders. So, Scythian invaders ultimately accepted suzerainty of Shalivahan, that is Satvahan ruler, named as Shalivahan or oftenly called as Gautami Putra Satkarni. From that period, they started out era. They are called as Shalivahan era. It is called as Shalivahan Shaka. Today, that means when I am discussing this lecture with you, it is 1937. That means before 1937 year, Shalivahan defeated Shak. But Shak or Scythians were not sent out of India. They stayed over here only. Rudradaman was the ruler. Shalivahan married with his daughter and continued to rule. The Scythians were there in India only. They continued to rule over parts of India. Only thing is that they accepted suzerainty of Satvahan ruler. So this way they were defeated but not sent out of India. They become resident of India only. Today, may be possible, our roots are there in these people, Scythian people. So there is this way, our close relationship there with Greece, our close relationship is there with Scythia, that is today's Ukraine part. So Ukraine and all that steppes part around Caucasus, towards north of Caucasus, whatever the steppes region is there, that part. So we have to make that cultural impact. Genetic impact is also there. That's why we are getting Western Indian people. They are having different look than South Indian people or Eastern part of Indian people. This is the basic reason that continuously these foreign invaders. Now next invader after Scythian, it is called as Kushan. They were having different names. Yuchi, then Turushka or Kushan. So like that, various foreign invaders were entering. Now here is a turn of Turushka, Yuchi or Kushan. They entered in India from Afghanistan, that is from Khyber Pass. Their first invader was Kujula Kadfaisis, then it was Vima Kadfaisis, and like that they carried out invasion over India. Now out of that prominent ruler, that was Kanishk, he was capital at Pushpapur, but he extended his empire by defeating out Satwahan at Haryana. Then onwards, the Scythians, those who are continuing to rule over India, but as a feudal or as a vassal of Satwahan, they accepted suzerainty of Kushan. And that's why Kushan Empire spread out in India till south as Maharashtra. And in Indian history, Kushan also referred as second Shak race. They were also called as Shak. See the name, Kanishka, Huishka, Jewishka. You are sounding out Shaka, Shaka, Shaka at end. So they were called as second Shak race. Now this way they ruled. Now what is basic difference between Shak or that Scythian and Kushan? Kushan were hybrid. If you observe their faces, certain idols of Kushan emperors were there. You can check out. They are having some hybrid of European race and Mongol race. So mixing of these two, they were there. They were not of purely European race and not of purely Mongolid race. They were also very good warriors. And what is the prominent? That Kanishka onwards, emperors were patron of Sanskrit language. So during rule of Kanishka, they considered as their Sanskrit as their important language. A local language was there in his rule, was Sanskrit. So today, the capital of Kushan Emperor, that was there in Pakistan. His empire was there from China, that is from Tibet to Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and parts of India also. He made his second capital at Kanauj in UP. Towards northwest part of UP, Kanauj is there. So he made his second capital at Kanauj. Ultimately, Kanishka was defeated in Maharashtra by Satwahan rulers. So Satvahans were able to get rule, able to defeat Kanishka when Kanishka tried to enter in Maharashtra. But at Haryana, Satvahans were defeated by Kanishka. So we have to make this note. But what is the importance of Kanishka? He was patron of Sanskrit language, yes. He was very great ruler, yes. But most important thing carried out by Kanishka, that he accepted Buddhism. Okay, that was accepted by Emperor Ashoka, that was accepted by Menander. But what is prominent? He carried out his own version of Buddhism. Today, many Buddhists are following Buddhism that is given out by Kanishka and not given out by Lord Buddha. In Buddhist council, he called Buddhist council. All over the world, more than 500 monks, Buddhist monk attended that council. And then the question was put forward that whether to worship Lord Buddha by making his idol or not. And ultimately, those who decided, yes, we can do that, they are considered as Mahayana Buddhism. Yana, that means vehicle. Maha means great. Their vehicle is great. They accepted the change. Whereas those who were sticking to original Buddhism given by our Lord Buddha, they were called as Hinayanism. Hina means lower. So they were having lower vehicle. So this is the important. And today, when we are observing Buddhist idol, remember it is because of it is because of Kanishka. Kanishka started out this part. Particularly, Kanishka, on influence of Kanishka, Buddhism was changed out, and making of idol of Lord Buddha was carried out because of this Kanishka. Another sect is there in Buddhism. It is called as Vajrayanism. So totally, Buddhism is having three sects. Mahayanism, Hinayanism, and Vajrayanism. So Vajrayanism are following Hatha Yoga practices. Anyway, so for that purpose, you have to remember Kanishka. So these all things are there. So you have to make your column that Kanishka and whatever is carried out by that Kanishka. Next, foreign invaders in India, they were Hun. Hun were basically most probably. Why I am using most probably? Because in history we don't know. But they were most probably from Mongolia, from Gobi Desert. If you observe a map, from steppes, that is European steppes, particularly from Ukraine to Mongolia. All this area is covered by grassland. The grass is having height more at Ukraine. And from Ukraine, that is from Europe to eastern part, Mongolia, the height of grass decreases. And ultimately, in Mongolia, that height of grass is almost negligible. Desert part is there. We are calling that as Gobi. So Gobi, that means desert in Mongol language, but unfortunately we are calling it as desert of Gobi. Now here we are getting this Gobi desert that is there in Mongolia. From that, most probably the Huns were there. Original name is Humnu, but we call them as Huns. They were all warriors. Some 9 lakh Huns. They were marching from horses. Details we discuss at our lectures, why and how they entered. But only thing is that Great Wall of China that was constructed for Huns. That Huns were continuously carrying out attack over China, and in order to prevent that, this Great Wall of China was constructed. Now, these Huns entered in India first time. But at that time, India was having very, very strong empire that is under rule of Gupta. Prince, that was Skandagupta. Skandagupta managed victory over Huns, and Huns were sent out of India. Then they went to Europe. They ruled over Europe for nearly 50 years under leadership of Attila. Western Roman Empire was collapsed because of this Hun attack. Economy was their collapse, and after that, they were collapsed out. Because Huns displaced out Vandal. Vandal carried out attack over Roman Empire. Romans managed them successfully defeat. But followed by Hun attack was there. Economically, Roman collapsed out. Followed by that, Visigoth entered in Europe, who set out their kingdom at Spain. So Spain and Portugal was ruled by rulers, that was Visigoth. Now this Hun, after 50 years, again entered in India under leadership of Chinchilla. And then Skandagupta died at battlefield. Skandagupta was now emperor. First time he was only prince, but now he was emperor. But he died at the age of 75, and then onwards, we don't know what happened exactly. Because when curtain opens, we are having idea that Toramana, most probably Hun ruler, was ruling from Ujjaini, that is Madhya Pradesh. Anyway, so we have to check out this Hun attack. What happened to Hun, make it a column, and impact of Hun. Ultimately, Huns accepted Hinduism. They accepted Kshatriya as clan because they were warriors, great warriors, but destroyer only. They destroyed various kingdoms, various states, even our Indian ancient most university, that Takshashila University near Gandhar, that was also brutally destroyed by these Huns. Roman Empire was brutally destroyed by Huns. They were considering themselves as destroyer, and that's why they consider Lord Rudra as their deity. So in India, the coin minted by Huns were having image of Lord Rudra. So Lord Rudra image is there, that means that coin was minted by Hun. It is believed, we don't have evidences, but it is believed that present day what Rajput people we are having emerging out, particularly after 7th century, 8th century AD, we are getting references of Rajput. These Rajputs, were most probably Huns from, we can say, newly converted, because we have their reference that Huns accepted Hinduism. Along with Huns, another people entered in India, they were Gurjar, most probably from Russian territory, but we don't know exactly. They were basically traders. They not came here as invader, but they were traders. And then onwards, they become invader also. They also accepted Hinduism. And then they mixed out in Indian culture, Indian society. They influence, they take out power in their hands. The name is Pratihar. And that's why we have in history the dynasty ruling over parts of Rajasthan, parts of northwest part of UP, then parts of Gujarat, that is Gurjar Pratihar dynasty. So this way, we have to make account of all these foreign invaders. Supposed to be Huns, our last foreign invader in ancient history. We can say Gurjar Pratihar, but Gurjar were not directly came here as invader. They came here for trading, and after that they took over the power. So Britishers are not first who came to India as trader and then took power. Before that, Gurjar carried out the same thing. Now here, we can take halt, a little bit halt. We have to make these notes. And next time, we are starting with other phase in Indian history, that is Muslim invaders in India. So first, we are finishing out history part with respect to foreign invaders. And then we are going to study with respect to Indian rulers. That's why I have not discussed anything about Satvahan rulers, anything about Gupta rulers, anything about Hoysal dynasty, Chalukya dynasty, Rashtrakoot dynasty, because we have to discuss it at end. So first we are discussing out the Indian history with respect to foreign invaders, and then we are discussing this part. Now what is your duty? That we have to make notes. As we discuss here, we have to make notes, prepare that, and be ready for next lecture. On next Saturday at 10 o'clock, we are meeting out again. And then we are conducting a small test. For that test, we have to visit our website, that is www.m2k-education.com. And there, visit the tab, that is study material. There you will get paper. That paper you have to download and observe our discussion, live discussion, after solving out paper. So we can solve out your doubts also. We can directly communicate here in this hangout. So that will be after next Saturday's lecture. So first we have to observe our Saturday lecture at 10 o'clock. Thanks for attending.